Welcome to a Wiggly EX deck highlight for Pokemon Pocket. Wiggly EX feels like a powerful finisher that you can splash into a variety of shells. 80 damage for 3 energy is a solid rate, and the guaranteed sleep effect means that 50% of the time your opponent's going to be losing their following turn, unable to attack or retreat. This deck list's goal is to lead on an efficient attacker to start, such as Farfetch'd or Weezing, and then start powering up Wigglytuff in the backline to put out as our last line of attack and defense after they've knocked out 2 of our single prize Pokemon. Weezing in particular has quickly become one of my favorite ways to start off in Pokemon Pocket. It has a high base HP for a non-EX stage 1, and its Poison Gas in tandem with its Tackle attack allows it to push 50 points of damage per turn cycle, which is above rate for a 1 energy attack. We then get to mix Koga in here as well, allowing us to reset our Weezing before it fully gets knocked out. And we get to buy a ton of time while also pumping out a ton of damage. One last card I'd like to call out in this deck list is the non-EX copy of Wigglytuff as well. This gives us some flexibility with Jigglypuff, both letting us put it up as a 1 knockout point attack, but also offering a 60 damage swing for just 2 energy in case Wiggly needs to get into combat sooner rather than later, with the EX taking 3 to fully power up. At any rate, I hope you enjoy the games that this deck provides. If you do, smash that like button for the rest of the day. Have fun. I think finishing on EX feels strong, but I really like the decks that like put up 2 decent like 1-point knockouts and then close on the EX afterwards. We're going second, which makes this duck lovely. I have not liked any of the Meltan decks I've played. Meltan feels like the juice is not worth the squeeze. You work really hard for a really mediocre payoff. When my son started his free-to-play Pocket account, I have him opening Charizard packs, because Charizard packs have Charizard and Moltres, and they also have Greninja and Alakazam and Sabrina, and a bunch of other good things you need, and we'll play with. But I think there's reasonable starting decks in most of the packs by design, so it's probably worth looking at the list of Pokemon and figuring out what you want to build. Yeah, Starmie's in the Charizard packs as well. I think the play here is this on here. Swap it back. Hit him with some gas. Zapdos having a retreat cost of 1 is pretty good on the EX, I suppose. We were talking about those being good, bad, or otherwise. Second Coughing's actually really good here with the Koga teed up in hand. The Pikachu EX decks usually don't have room to play red cards, so I'm not going to play around it by evolving the Wigglytuff, I don't think, because there's a world where we draw non-EX Wiggly and it's useful. I think one of my favorite things to play with from a deck building and in-game sequencing perspective is I've really enjoyed playing with these stage 1 Pokemon that have EXs and non-EXs in the deck simultaneously. Stage 2 odds too. Gengar has a regular and an EX, and we played a Gengar deck that was playing both of those that felt really clean because of the kind of decision tree. Makes it having 2 of them makes it less face up what you're doing as well. I think I don't, because I think I just want to put damage on the Pikachu EX because it's their best attacker. Weezing is insane against, and this is the thing too when it comes to like meta games and what's best. A lot of people are like, Pikachu EX and Mewtwo EX are 2 of the best decks. Well, Weezing is insane against both of those decks. Like Weezing doesn't die in 1 to Pikachu EX, and it's super effective against Mewtwo stuff. Yes, the Sabrina egg, if they have Electrode, lets the Voltorb retreat for free, which is why it's one of the more important cards to be put in Dark type. Man, I wish I had Wigglytuff. If we had regular Wigglytuff in my hand, this game would be over because we would get the knockout on Pikachu. I guess if we top deck it, I can Koga the Weezing back and still do that. Oh, baby, talking about... I love when we talk about a thing and then it happens instantaneously. It's my favorite. So because I didn't play the Jigglypuff to start, I have to, like, lose an energy, but I think that's fine. Like, they're so far behind when I take this knockout here. This does 60, and then the poison cleans. Now, not only are we up match points, but, they're down tempo. They have no energy left on the board. Yes, this is a good example of why cards that retreat for free tend to be very strong. Now we're totally Sabrina-ing them, yeah? They're gonna need another X speed if they want to attack next turn. Raichu's the only one that survives a hit at this point. And if they don't have an X speed and they don't have an Electrode, they put an energy, they retreat, and the second Sabrina is lethal here. Ooh, that's pretty good. They didn't have the X speed though, so I get to correct the Pikachu now. Yeah, we reach with the Sabrina. Out of here. Game winner on the regular Wigglypuff here. Definitely, Weezing I think is my favorite. Weezing's coming up to take the favorite card in the game spot from Greninja, it feels like. Good night, gamer. Second, can I have a duck? No ducks. Sedge. So, Weezing is better when we're going first. Duck is better when we're going second. Because going second has first energy advantage, so Duck can attack right away. Whereas going first is going first is first evolution advantage. Bricked. GG gamer. Thanks for playing. If they're the 18 trader Articuno EX deck, Weezing on 2 is gonna be real good here. Speaking of things that are best and silly tier list things, this 18 trader 2 Articuno EX deck is something that has been on a lot of tier lists that has looked very silly a lot of the time when we play against it. Literally the only time this deck feels powerful is when Misty high rolls in my experience. Any other time it just sits there and flails. They are definitely a red card deck though, so I'm gonna play the Wigglytuff EX out now just so it doesn't get shuffled away. I professored research this turn, so I can't Giovanni. But yeah, we'll burn the Geo at like first opportunity, most likely because of the red card. There's also incentive because we have Koga to do it faster. Okay, so they're not the 18 trader deck. They've got other stuff going on with the bricks here. Just break down basics to start. That makes them less likely to be on red card, so I'm not gonna Giovanni, I don't think, because I might need the extra damage later, especially with them having a 90 pointer in the back. It's 90, they go to 50, they hit me, they knock me out, they go to 40, and then Farfetch finishes them. Bruxish does have synergy with Blizzard. This puts damage on my bench. I'd be kind of surprised if they had Greninja in addition to the other ones they've showed us. I'm gonna move into Duck here because they only get one knockout point if they knock out Duck. So we're now 2-1 here. Yeah, Big Wiggly with the Giovanni backup is threatening 90 here, which KOs Golduck and Bruxish. In a singular swing. Even if they hit on this Misty and then have Golduck, we have the Giovanni, so we'll be done here. Oh. An okay spot. They need to win a sweet sleep flip here. There is no reason to play out Farfetch'd unless I want to lose to a Sabrina, so we're just gonna sleep song them. Hope things work out. Yeah, they need to win multiple sleep flips here. They need to win this flip, and then they need to retreat, and they're going to need to win the next flip, and then probably the one after that, too, yeah? Solid hits. Lots of damages. Keep putting my energy on because I can, and again, I am explicitly not playing Farfetch'd out because they're on 2 prizes and I don't want to get Sabrina. Hey, look! They finally lost the sleep flip. I think that's the first time our Wigglies actually successfully slept someone today. Stayed sleepy through the end. All of the mobile game promos I do are always only for people who haven't played the game before. You should never make multiple accounts to try and scam the sponsors. Looks very bad on me. Going second, so starting on Duck is lovely when going second. Tentacruel is another one that I want to spend some time playing. We might play some Tentacruel tomorrow. Tentacruel is 110 HP and deals 50 for 2 and guarantees poison when it hits. It's got one of those stat lines where when I read it, I'm like, this reads is really powerful on a single point knockout guy. Drowsy. Hypno is one of those cards that I read it and I'm confused that people are playing it. Hypno has a really bad attack. It's like 40 or 50 damage for 3 energy. But it has a Pokemon ability where you flip a coin and if heads, you put your opponent to sleep. Which means 75% of the time your opponent is not going to sleep. Yeah, it does 50 for 3. And it's flip a coin to put them to sleep, but then they get to flip a coin to wake up. So it's 75% to do nothing for 4 slots in your deck. Because they have to win a flip, and I have to lose a flip. And I'm sure, now I'm talking about that, we're going to brick the 25%er every turn in this match, but... Easy game. It's like one of those where, like, statistically speaking, what just happened is happening most of the time. Sounds like we're playing Tentacruel Greninja. Thank you for the biddies, Duck. I appreciate that. I think I'm waiting on my last bench slot for a Jigglypuff. I think we're gonna give them the Toxin Hug here. Crack him with the tackle. I think in the paper card game, if I recall correctly, Poison is the only status condition that doubles up. Any paper TCG players fact check me on that? All right, and then they lost their flip, which means I don't even have to do a flip. We're gonna get to knock my duck out here. But, and this is noteworthy. This is, again, a really big thing about thinking about how you manage things in Pokemon Pocket, is my opponent and I are about to trade 1 match point for 1 match point here. But I'm about to be up an incredible amount on tempo. So we'll each have 1 knockout, but they've gotten rid of 0 of my energy with their knockout, and I'm gonna get rid of 2 of their energy with my knockout. And that's one of the dynamics you really want to be thinking about in terms of profitable exchanges, is how much energy did you miss? And now, if we get down to the full back and forth of this game, I did spend an energy to retreat, which cost me some tempo. So this is me catching back up and then getting ahead a little bit here, where I have 2 energy on the board, and now they're only going to have 1 energy on the board. Psyduck's Headache can lock me out of Koga Egg next turn. It blocks me from using supporters. Thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back. Loopy's been streaming a bunch of Pocket as well, gamers. There's someone I've been chilling. They do some Snap too. I've mostly been watching on their Pocket side. Be sure to check them out. They bricked on their Hypno again. Not a Jigglypuff in sight, eh? 2 Jigglypuffs, 2 Pokeballs, bottom 7 cards. Wherefore out thou Jigglypuff. And this sleep actually doesn't matter, because if they hit and I miss, I can Koga back the Weezing. And I want to Koga back the Weezing anyways because of the damage on it. So, we woke up, but I'm not attacking with this anyways, so I just want to reset the damage. This is why Koga is so powerful, because I have the second Coughing set up on my bench here. So I basically just get to keep Weezing in play, but I spent a supporter to heal it. I lose an energy in this exchange, but it doesn't really matter because everything in my deck needs so few energies to attack. Hey, there's the Hypno. And as you can see, our opponent is purely playing Hypno for its sleep ability that only works 25% of the time. I honestly think it's difficult to mess up your economy decisions inside of Pocket. I think the things that are optimal to be doing are relatively straightforward. Like the biggest blunder you can make in Pocket, you can't make until you're a lot of packs in, which is continuing to open from the booster pack you already have most of the most rare cards from. get some X speeds here. Is that why they put this up? Kingler takes forever to charge up, right? He does 80 plus a potential for 80 more, 25%. So guaranteed 80, 25% of the time does 160. Yep. 1x speed. So they're not knocked out this turn, but this cost them infinite tempo, right? If they hit the 25%er here, they could buy a turn. Great, there's the first half of it. Will they finally sleep me and will I brick on Koga? Nope. And I actually have the Giovanni here, so they're torched this turn. Sprugaleek. Wow, that really sucks, man. I have heard a lot of unfortunate nightmare style Marvel Snap customer support things. If you want to deal with second dinner, they're usually pretty good, but their outsourced support is pretty bad. Second dinner outsources their general support, and it's not good. My own snap break was prompted by I had a really great day with family and friends on Saturday, and then I decided to queue up and play some Marvel Snap Saturday night for a community tournament. And after 2 rounds of the community tournament, I felt angry enough that it felt like my whole day had been ruined, and I was just like, "This is not healthy. I need to take 5." Even when they're your job chat, games should be fun. Don't let your games make you feel constantly bad. Yeah, I'm gonna burn the professor's research here. I'll only put us to 4 cards in hand. What did Snap trigger that? The last Marvel Snap deck I was really kind of having fun with was Bounce, because it was like my baby, and like we traded Hela being the best and most popular deck for a deck that is playing 2 copies of Cosmo, with Cosmo and Mystique being the best deck. Feels real mediocre into that. Please retreat to the Pikachu EX. Please retreat to the Pikachu EX. We're definitely evolving this to play around what's his face card. I think I'm doing this. I don't know that I'm putting regular Wiggly on the Jigglypuff. I don't know if I want the EX one yet either. I'm just gonna wait to make that decision depending on how other things in this game line up. So now they can knock out my Farfetch, but if they knock out the Farfetch, the Wiggly takes their Electrode. And if we take the Electrode, the Circle Circuit on Pikachu EX is less scary. Gas leak, we'll just tackle. And then Weezing, one of the many reasons why Weezing is good is he has 110 HP. So that means even if they go bench Giovanni, the Pikachu EX is still only dealing 101 shot. I think with the second energy going on this Jigglypuff already, I'm going to go ahead and put the EX one into play here. And then And we'll go ahead and leak the gas and crack them for 30. Again, this Pikachu EX is worth 2 match points here. If we knock it out, we get the game win. So with the Koga in hand, the game is over if they attack me here. I get to Koga the Weezing back, and then switch up Wiggly and crack them for 80. Koga Weezing, I think, is one of the best. We can slot this into different things in the game. It's so powerful. It's just like super durable and also puts up damage. And then being able to basically retreat and reset the damage for free is huge. We're going first, which makes me wish I had a coughing to start, but it is what it is. Mewtwo's so scary when they have first energy advantage. I think this game is incredibly easy to get started, Caboose. The tutorial / onboarding experience in this game rivals Marvel Snap. And Marvel Snap is one of the best in the business. Picking up the basics is super easy and clean. While there's still depth and decisions to learn and master. If you have an iOS device, you can switch your store location to New Zealand to download it now. If you're on Android, you can download the APK and get playing. You no longer need a VPN to log in. It's just not fully launched technically yet, so you gotta jump through a small hoop. If you don't want to jump through either of those small hoops, it'll be available officially globally at the end of the month. Do I Sabrina for tempo this turn? I think so. I don't have another supporter to play. Even if they just switch Mewtwo's here, it's switching Mewtwo to one that doesn't have an energy on it, which is worthwhile. Weezing also gives us an edge in this matchup, which is nice. I only ever need 1 energy on Weezing and Farfetch, so we definitely are going to start powering up Jigglypuff here. The question is, do I want to switch to Weezing and crack them here? I think I do. It's close. This means they're gonna have to get this Mewtwo out of the way here. It's gonna go down real quick, so we poison and then crack for 50. For iOS, there's more hoops. It'll deactivate Apple subscription and other stuff for you to payment method in New Zealand. That's good to know. I figured chat was making it out to be too easy, but it's good to know that is the case. They're making it out to be too easy. I think Starmie's a very good card. I would be surprised if we know what the best Starmie deck is. I also think all of the decks that people keep talking about being the best are the ones that have very clear cookie cutter, this is the obvious way you're supposed to be building them, and the devs pre-built these decks for you. And I think there's counterplay in this first set to most of those good cookie cutter decks. All right, is it worth Giovanniing here? So let's say they evolve into Gardevoir. Poison puts them to 140. Tackle puts them to 90. They pass back to me after knocking me out. They go to 80. The Giovanni really doesn't change any of that math. I'd feel better if we had second coughing here. Yeah, with them having Gardevoir and me not having second coughing, we might be in trouble. With the... This lets them get the extra energy, which means the side drive can knock us out this turn, and the potion too. Consider weakness with your math there. Yeah, if you go back and listen to me count, I counted the weakness. I counted Weezing cracking for 50. So the second Farfetch'd is decent here, because it means that I get to crack this down to 60. They knock me out with side drive, they go to 50, and then my second Farfetch switches up and knocks it out with the assistance of the poison. They go to 60 on the attack. My Giovanni gets the knockout here, right? They go to 60 on their attack. I hit them for 50. They go to 10. The poison finishes. Now, the downside here is that I lose to them having their second Gardevoir, which could be likely, because second Gardevoir means that they get to attach 3 energies, which lets their Gardevoir crack for 60 and finish the duck. And these are like, again, what goes into talking about, like, what are the best decks or not. Like, this deck that I'm playing is, like, completely unrefined. And, like, we're in a spot that's, like, reasonable against this deck people are calling one of the best ones in a game where we bricked having our second Weezing. And we bricked having Koga's. That one. Did I mess up? Was I supposed to do that first? Oh no! I messed up. I could have. Nah, I think the EX line is still correct. Oh no, not red card. Please, no, stop. Mercy. I guess they got rid of my Weezing, I suppose. Okay. Okay, getting rid of my Weezing might win up the game. Yep, okay. Sabrina twice. To claim your gift sub from Rage, you just slide into my DMs with a screenshot of your fresh account at level 12, and I'll take care of it after the stream. Thank you. Koga returns a Weezing or Muck from your active spot to your hand. Yes, Koga does not return Coughing, only Weezing or Muck, so I could not bounce Coughing there. If they wake up, they win the game. If they don't wake up, we win the game. We're due to win one of these, right? We've lost 5 of these flips today, I believe. So our cumulative variance says we got this one in the bag. Never lucky rubber ducky. And I think some people would count this game as like, you know, It's a showcase of how strong the Gardevoir deck is, but I think games like this ignore all of the details, right? Like, think of how many things had to break my opponent's way for their powerful deck to get the game win over us here. We had to not have our second coughing in like our top 15. We had to not redraw Weezing on the red card. We had to not have them flip heads on the sleeping at the end. Like, if just any of those three specific things break in our favor, they lose every time. And this was a game where they had both Mewtwo EXs and they had a Gardevoir online early. Literally the only thing that didn't go well for them was the fact that they didn't get second Gardevoir early. Thanks for making it to the end of the deck highlight. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want more deck highlights like this one, other game news updates with everything related to Pokemon Pocket as we head towards that October 30th global release.